a tiny island with a mighty past setting the stage for an empire. The British Isles, a cluster of islands off the coast of Europe, might seem an unlikely birthplace for a global superpower. Yet from these shores, the British Empire would rise to become the largest in history, its influence touching every corner of the globe. To understand this incredible journey, we must first journey back in time to the very beginnings of this island nation. Long before the Romans, Vikings, or Normans, these lands were inhabited by Celtic tribes. Their culture, languages, and legends would forever weave themselves into the fabric of British identity. It was into this world that the Roman legions marched, bringing with them the might of Rome and forever altering the course of British history. The seeds of conquest, early invasions, and the shaping of Britain. The arrival of the Romans in 43 AD marked a turning point. Roman rule brought with it roads, cities, and a more centralized system of governance, yet the Romans eventually departed, leaving behind a power vacuum that would be filled by a succession of invaders. The Angles, Saxons, and Jutes, fierce warriors from continental Europe, carved out kingdoms, forever changing the linguistic landscape with their Germanic tongues. The Vikings, known for their seafaring prowess and raiding culture, added their own chapter to the island's story. It was a time of turmoil, but also one of cultural fusion, laying the groundwork for the nation that would emerge. From the Tudors to the Stuarts planting the flags of empire. The seeds of empire were truly sown during the reigns of the Tudor and Stuart monarchs. Henry VIII's break from the Roman Catholic Church had profound consequences, paving the way for England to establish its own identity on the world stage. Under Elizabeth I, England began to flex its naval muscles, challenging the dominance of Spain and Portugal. The defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588 marked a turning point. England, once a peripheral power, was now a force to be reckoned with, ready to claim its place in the race for colonial possessions. The American Revolution, when empires faced resistance. The 18th century witnessed the extraordinary growth of the British Empire, fueled by maritime trade, naval power, and the acquisition of colonies. The Americas, Africa, and Asia became entangled in the web of British imperial ambitions. However, the American Revolution, a conflict born from colonial resistance to British rule, served as a stark reminder that empires are not invincible. The loss of the American colonies was a blow to British prestige and a harbinger of the challenges that lay ahead. Section 5. The Victorian era, the sun never sets on the British Empire. The 19th century, the Victorian era, saw the British Empire reach its zenith. This period was marked by unprecedented industrial growth, technological innovation, and territorial expansion. The sun never sets on the British Empire became more than just a phrase, it was a reality. From the bustling streets of Hong Kong to the diamond mines of South Africa, the Union Jack flew high. Britain's influence permeated every aspect of life in its colonies, shaping economies, societies, and landscapes. To Section 6. The jewel in the crown, India and the height of British power. India, with its vast population and abundant resources, became the jewel in the crown of the British Empire. The British East India Company, initially a trading venture, gradually assumed greater control over the subcontinent. The Mughal Empire, once a mighty force, crumbled under the pressure of British expansionism. India's fate was inextricably intertwined with that of Britain, for better or for worse. Section 7. Cracks in the facade, the road to decline. The 20th century ushered in a new era, one marked by rising nationalism, global conflicts, and the gradual erosion of European dominance. The British Empire, once seemingly invincible, began to show signs of strain. The First World War, a conflict of unprecedented scale and brutality, had a profound impact. Britain, though victorious, emerged from the conflict weakened and deeply in debt. The seeds of dissent sown in its colonies began to sprout, fueled by the desire for self-determination. Section 8. The end of an era, the fall of the British Empire. The Second World War delivered the final blow to the British Empire. The rise of new global superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, further diminished Britain's standing on the world stage. The granting of independence to India in 1947 marked a pivotal moment, signalling the beginning of the end of the British Empire. Over the following decades, one by one, colonies gained their independence, transforming the geopolitical landscape. Section 9. Legacies of Empire, the enduring impact on Britain and the world. The British Empire, once a sprawling behemoth, has vanished from the map. Yet its legacy continues to shape the world we live in. The impact of British rule is evident in the languages spoken, the legal systems in place, and the borders drawn across the globe. Britain itself bears the indelible mark of its imperial past. From the diversity of its population to the global outlook of its people, the legacy of empire is interwoven into the very fabric of British society. The British Empire was a complex and often contradictory chapter in human history, one that continues to spark debate and discussion today.